Good morning. Welcome back, everyone. About 15 minutes before 7 outside right now at 27 degrees. We've all heard it and maybe even said it ourselves that we are either cursed with a very good metabolism or, blessed with a good metabolism or cursed with maybe a slow metabolism. But how do you know how efficiently your metabolism works and what can you do to speed it up? This morning we're joined by Gundersen Lutheran registered dietitian Diane Hinrichs-Kelbel. Good morning, Diane. Thanks for getting up with us.
Good morning, Amy.
So how do you know how well or maybe how slow your metabolism works?
Well, you know, a lot of that is we notice it in how our bodies are reacting. And so when we look at how well it's working, a lot of it is how we're feeling with our bodies and our energy level. And a lot of times people are using weight to measure that, and muscle mass is a big part of that as well.
Okay. So if you think you have a slower metabolism, what do you do about it?
Well, a lot of times when I meet with people, I look at what may be happening and what the past history is. There's three things that slow down our metabolism, and that is age, dieting and a history of dieting, and then sedentary behavior. And if one of those three things are changing, those are that's the direction we go and what we look at.
So obviously you can't do anything about age. I know we all wish we could, but we can't. But when it comes,
I'm sorry, what was that?
I just was teasing that you can't do anything about age, but when it comes to a history of dieting, how does that affect your metabolism?
Many times when we've dieted and we've lost weight too quickly, our body has lost muscle mass in that process because our body will hold on to fat to get us through the famine if it feels threatened in any way. And in that history, our body kind of remembers that. So if we skip a meal in the future or we reduce our intake later on, it will repeat that pattern. So it's really important that we listen to our bodies and respect it by eating when we're hungry throughout the day.
That's a big thing. Eat when you're hungry.
Absolutely. There's a whole mindset these days with intuitive eating and being respectful to our bodies.
And can that really help if you listen to your body and just eat when you're healthy?
Absolutely. Yeah, it definitely helps get in the nourishment we need throughout the day by having 3 meals, and we call snacks mini meals if we get hungry in between. And the main thing is when we feel hungry, not to wait, to go ahead and eat. And if we don't need to eat very much, eat a little bit at that time. If it's time for a meal, we need to have a meal that's going to satisfy us and nourish us to our next meal. And that will help speed up our metabolism.
Well, that's good news. And then lastly, of course, you know, getting out there and getting moving. How important is that to speed up your metabolism?
Oh, that's the biggest, that's another big part, because as we age, we don't know which slows down first. Do we lose muscle mass or do we slow down? And so trying to be more active definitely continues to keep our muscle mass. I always like to think about strengthening our bodies so we can keep doing all those things that we want to do to be active as we age and to have fun.
So, of course, from your point of view, when people complain about having a slow metabolism, they really can work to improve it themselves, and it can be less of an excuse.
Absolutely. Changing our patterns and listening to our bodies by eating when we're hungry, and then just moving more, being more active during the day. It can involve cardio, or it can involve strengthening, or just doing more things around the house.
All right. Well, Diane, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Now we know a little bit about how our metabolism works, and it's, you know, it is kind of a, a topic out there that we don't know a whole lot about, yet we seem to talk about a lot. So thank you so much for that.
Right. Thanks for having me, Amy.
All right.